ATM contracts. Do you know how to handle different situations when it comes to ATM contracts? Send it in the video and we're going to give you a description of what to do in these situations. Hi, this is Phil from the ATM Mastermind group page, and we help hundreds of aspiring ATM business owners go from 0 ATMs to ATM Business Pro in as little as 30 days. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. All right, so here we go. We're gonna dive right in. This is a bit of a story, kind of a twist of how this video usually goes. I saw this and I thought that this was very important, especially to everybody in ATM land. So point number one, here was the deal. ATM operator, he went over to a location, talked to them about putting an ATM. They recognized that there was a need for an ATM and they put the ATM in. And now the ATM is making money in the location. ATM owner is happy with the location and is making money. They weren't paying a commission to the location owner. The location owner says, hey, guess what? My brother, he's got a store. You want to put an ATM in their store? The guy's like, great, absolutely. He gets a referral, did a great job. ATM owner, phenomenal. He gets the ATM, puts it in the second store. Now he realizes that, you know what, the second store isn't as good as the first store, but he's going to stay in the second store because he doesn't want to jeopardize relationship and lose the first store. So he's not making very good money in the second store. He's making real good money in the first store. So that's the scenario, right? So point number two, now what happens is the first location owner comes to the ATM owner and says, hey, we're doing pretty good in this store. What I want is I want a commission. And now the ATM owner is thinking, you know what? He's going to want a commission, and I don't have a problem paying him a commission, but I don't want to pay his brother a commission, and I don't want to jeopardize the two stores. So then he gets on the phone. He says, I want a commission. Guess what? His brother calls and says, I want a commission, and now he's trying to figure out what to do. He starts avoiding the calls, avoiding the store owners, and guess what? Pretty soon they unplug his ATM. So they changed the deal. The store owners changed the original deal. The original deal, again, when we go back, is the ATM owner is just going to put in the ATMs and there was no commission. And now what happened is the owner said, hey, I want to change the deal. And he said the ATM owner didn't want to because he was already a bad deal on the second ATM. So when we get to point number three, I'm going to explain how he could have avoided this situation. And this also goes so many times to you guys out there in ATM land. So if you're thinking about starting your own profitable ATM business but didn't know where to start, stay to the end of the video and I will show you our checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist. The 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business so you can have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success. You can earn between $250 and $1,500 of passive income every single month. All right, let's get back to the video. Point number 3, a contract, the SLA, the agreement. This is where you guys in ATM world, you got to cut your best deal right off the bat, right in the beginning. You bring them a location agreement, you lay out the terms and the deal, and you know what? You abide by this. That way, if you, on this situation, if the brother would have said, hey, put an ATM in my store, you could have said, no problem, I'll put an ATM in your store. You could have laid out the details that says, hey, your ATM has to do this many transactions, so we can't pay you a commission. Or you could have paid him a minimum commission, but you would establish the deal right off the bat. And then you wouldn't have co-mingled the deal. We call that in real estate co-collateralizing. You're leveraging one property for the other. And the same thing with the ATM business. You're leveraging the bad property to keep the good property or the good ATM. You don't want to do that. And every deal has got to stand on its own 2 legs. And so in this case, you could have said, if you had a contract, you could have said to the brother, hey, you know what? Your store isn't doing enough. Your brother has that relationship and that agreement because we both had the same agreement, but I can pay him a commission. I can't pay you a commission. And that way he could have got out of the deal. And you could have also you could have said, you know what? The store owner, because I have a contract in both locations, you know what? Here's the deal. We can just pull that ATM out because it's not going to be good enough for us. And you have that contract with the first location. So either way, you're protected, but you have to start out in the beginning of the deal with that agreement because that way you would have had leverage. And now, because you didn't put a location agreement in there or a contract, you don't have any leverage. Point number 4, most of the time, the reason why you like, that doesn't make any sense, Bill. Here's the reason why. They don't have a location agreement or they have a bad location agreement. So if they would have invested, if we want to go back in time, they should have invested in getting a nice contract, a contract that works for their business with minimums or penalty clauses if they pull the ATM out, or penalty clauses if the location owner says, get out of my store. Whatever those are, you want to look at getting a good SLA, a good contract. This will pay what I call dividends down the road, and now you won't be in a vulnerable spot. The reason we have location agreements is because I don't like that feeling that ATM owner had. He had a vulnerable position. He was in not a position of strength. We in the ATM business, we want to put ourselves in a position of strength. And by not having that location agreement, that puts us in a vulnerable position. And then the business owner can tell us what to do. It's our money, it's our ATM, it's my time, it's their time. I don't want to be in that position. So we don't put ourselves in that position. And how I do that is, again, for us, PDQ, we won't do a deal without a location agreement. There's no reason to. I don't want that feeling. I hate that feeling. It's in the pit of my stomach when we have to pull out an ATM because they tell us, get out. Here's the deal. If you don't like it, get out. I don't like that feeling. So we don't put ourselves in a position. And the reason is because, and the way we do that is because we have location. And point number 5. So you're asking yourself, well, Phil, what's another reason? Why would an ATM owner not have that? Okay, for those of you guys who are not in the game yet, because they have to have a conversation with the business owner to get them to sign a piece of paper. Most of the time, they've never done it, so they don't know how to do it. Or if they've done it, it's uncomfortable, or there's challenges, and the business owner they don't want to sign this, they don't want to sign that. At the end of the day, you will have to make a decision. Do you want to have that uncomfortable feeling in the beginning of the relationship, or do you want to have that uncomfortable feeling at the end of the relationship? For me, I would rather have it in the beginning because I know what's going to happen. Either they're going to put our ATM in the store or not. If they want to push back on the SLA, then there might be some things in there that we can negotiate with. At least I negotiate up front from a position of strength. I'm not negotiating from a position of weakness, and that weakness is, hey, get your ATM out or I'll find somebody new. I don't like somebody to tell me that stuff. So we avoid that at all costs. And I'll know up front, hey, I'm not going to sign a location agreement. No problem. Goodbye. That's it. It's a very easy conversation. I can take no, but what I can't do is put an ATM in there, invest in their business, months of weeks to years of doing the right thing. When the ATM goes down, hot-footing over there to make sure that they're up and running and putting their business ahead of my time. And then all that is gone just so they can tell me, hey, get your ATM out. I don't like that game, so we don't play that game. All right, so if you're thinking about starting your own ATM business, I want to invite you to our free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist, the 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business so you can start earning passive income, make more money for your family, and spend more time with them also. If that sounds like something that's interesting to you, click the link down below and start your ATM journey today. Again, this is Phil from the ATM Mastermind group page, where we buy your freedom at one transaction at a time. Thank you guys for making us #1 on YouTube, and I'll see you over at the next ATM Mastermind video.